Hey. It's been more than half a year since my last video was released, and I apologize for the wait. I have been fairly inconsistent with my life involving what I really want to do, and I've been thinking of returning to college to pursue a passion in video production as well as study history as a minor. More specifically, the 1900s in its entirety. For now, however, I am currently a cashier, and while I enjoy the job, it doesn't give me the funds required to live on my own and support myself. For a while now, I'm going to be saving up money to attend school somewhere sometime soon, once again, as well as afford any, necessities. Like a car, and driver's insurance. And driver's ed. As for my absence on YouTube, I took a break. I needed it as I have been dipping in and out of depression quite a lot over the past couple of years, and I've questioned what I really want out of myself and this YouTube channel, and it has led to many channel updates, especially one in particular. And now that we are here, I would like to make a more official channel update. For those I plan on recording with, I will try my best to explain it so that even people outside of this channel will understand. Since early high school, I've been friends with this guy named Lucas. He's pretty much my best friend. I enjoy spending time with him, and I definitely enjoy his company. He is a bit on the edgy side, but that's more for those who don't know him. Once knowing him, he's a pretty decent guy. However, recording with him with what I have planned for the channel may not really work out, as he has very much different varying opinions than I do regarding the kind of content I will be making in the future. For example, we both like Star Wars, we both like Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's start with the Star Wars part, because we both dislike things in both of these franchises, so I'm going to separate the two. Lucas does not like watching the TV series of Star Wars, mainly because he thinks the movies aren't enough, and he can't stomach the idea of someone being invested in a show. This is fairly hypocritical in my opinion, since he seems to know a strangely large amount of DC lore, including with the Teen Titans area stuff, Batman, Joker, you get it, DC. So what's the problem with knowing the different points of view in Order 66, which is a very important part of the Star Wars universe that happens during the prequels, specifically during the events of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. It's okay to be invested in something, and it's okay to love something. My reasons for disliking the Star Wars series mainly lies in the inconsistencies of the sequel trilogy, and the awkwardness of Episode 2's second act being one of the most unnecessary additions in film history.
I don't like sand.
Onto the FNAF side of things, I dislike FNAF purely because it had a great ending, and decided to keep digging its own grave upon Scott Cawthon stepping down as the developer of the games. Lucas, however, says the original games Scott made were bare bones and Scott is a terrible developer. I disagree on that. If Scott was a terrible dev, those games wouldn't be standing out at all, and FNAF would not be where it is without Scott's ability to use the notoriously awful ClickTeam Fusion engine to create one of the most beloved franchises in modern horror history, and the games Scott developed were all great in their own respective right, with one not being as great as the others as it was far too ambitious and became more obnoxious than entertaining, even if we got the Bite of 87 meme out of Markiplier from it.
Was that the Bite of 87?
Just because a game is small and minuscule doesn't make it a terrible game. In fact, some of the biggest games in terms of size right now is part of a failing franchise in the hands of Activision, and it's called Call of Duty. So rethink that one. Another example is when I once sent a video his way, and he said that the content creator in question, Noel Miller, looked like he makes trash content, and based it entirely on the thumbnail, when in actuality, watching Noel's content is as real as it gets when listening to someone tell you what's up with the weird shit, and is a genuinely funny guy, and is in fact a stand-up comedian and does tours all across the United States and some international tours. If you want to know what trash content looks like, we'll compare two videos. The Noel video that I sent Lucas, and a video that I found in the deepest depths of hell on YouTube. Let's watch the first little bit of this video.
Hey, what's up, dorks? Can you believe it? We have actual sunlight in this video. I know, you're not used to it. So if you're a gamer with soft baby bitch corneas, grab your gamer glasses to shield them from actual light. Or maybe you have a pair of those glasses with the quadrifocal lenses, the same ones they use in a refracting telescope to look into space because you're a mega nerd. Throw those on, because I know they change colors when you walk out in the sun. Again, to protect your soft baby little pupils from having to focus on anything brighter than a Nintendo DS screen. Either way, we're here with the very highly requested Weird DMs Ruining Lives Part 2.
Now, let's go over here. A Jewish pineapple killed Hitler. Okay? Let's look at this guy's setup here. He's in a blue room. That's already a red flag in my opinion. And this guy's cut. This guy looked like he got drafted. This guy looked like he got drafted. At the exact same time, looks like he doesn't shave. Anyways, let's watch this dumbass video.
Hey, like the hairdo? I can do this for the yard work. Anyways, cereal. I don't know. Cereal flavor, I probably have some kind of maybe a Kai fruit or something. Or there's could be a possibility of, I don't know, grass flavor, if you want to go crazy with it. Grass flavor that tastes like yard work.
I don't even know what the fuck happened. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay? Even if I were to go back and watch the rest of this guy's vlogs or whatever the fuck on his webcams, I don't want to. Let's see why. We go to this guy's channel.
See.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest shit imaginable. And this video, I watched this video. He literally plays with a minion fart gun in front of his parents, okay?
Why have this stupid gun?
Again, this guy does not shave. He grew his hair back, but he doesn't shave. There's something wrong with this man. Oh, he's even worse here. Christ, it's like the worst thing. It's the worst. Actually, what is happening? What are we going into? What is this shit? How does this guy get so many views? What? Mario Kart? What is meeting Terra Strong? What is My Little Pony doing? Oh no! Oh no! We're closing. We're not looking at that anymore. We're not looking. That's enough of that. My point is that doing the future content that I have planned with Lucas isn't exactly something I feel strongly about, as I feel Lucas would end up leaving anyway, as we have very different opinions on media, which is okay to have. It's okay for him to have this opinion. However, his opinions are very contrarian. He tends to not like things that are extremely popular. Some things he will exclude, some things he's probably grown up with, like, for instance, he likes DC stuff, and he likes God of War. Both of those are badass. There's no reason for anything else to not be a badass. I mean, he has some good opinions on certain things, and then some things I feel like, you know, you don't have to say that. That's just my opinion. He says certain things, and I feel like it's going to contradict with what we're going to be doing on the channel, which is having a neutral standpoint. He does not have a very neutral standpoint. He's very aggressive. Perhaps I can revise this in the future if Lucas wants to join in, but for now, I'm going to keep him out of the content for now. He did help me build this channel, but I'm going to have to put him on the back burner for now. As for another one of my friends, Jared, please get a job before we do anything content related. And continue your college work. Find something you really think you want to do. Work hard at it, and please get yourself together. That birthday stream you had in your server about a half year ago or something like that, back in June, July, I think, I was like uncomfortable. I was watching you play an anime fighting game. It was called Melty Blood, I think. And you're saying you recording? Who's gonna watch the video, bro? Nobody. Nobody's gonna go search on YouTube Melty Blood. I'm sorry to demoralize you, but this shit does not work this way on YouTube anymore. This is not 2012. You don't just play a game and people are like, wow, click. People will search for keywords. They're not gonna search Melty or Blood. They may search Neko Arc, which kinda sucks. That's it. But they're not gonna find your video first, they're gonna find a bunch of other dumbass shit. They're just not gonna find your video unless they filter new, but they're probably gonna be topped off with a bunch of other crazy shit because the new sorting tab doesn't even work correctly. I've tried this multiple times with different subjects. It doesn't put anything in order because there's an impossible number of videos on YouTube for it to filter out in a matter of seconds. So I wouldn't be going into this YouTube thing with the minuscule amount of content that you want to make on your iPhone. Hell, I don't even think what I'm going to be doing with a custom computer, 2 monitors, this mic with a mic shield, a bunch of fucking consoles behind me, in multiple ways to record everything, and a Mac Pro as well. I have that. All this shit is probably still not going to make me popular on YouTube. It's a hit or miss little, that's what it is. It's a hit or miss. Rethink your strategy, get yourself a job, like I do. Have a backbone. Have something to fall back on. You can't rely on YouTube anymore. It is not 2012 at all. I'm sorry to say this, it's just not that time of decade anymore. We have moved on to a totally different era. Moving on, I plan on splitting the channel into 4 categories, which was the original concept of the channel to begin with. Firstly, I'm going to be doing highlights. These will be of my Twitch channel, in which you can find down in the description. I stream occasionally, and I will probably be downloading every single VOD, and I will be, editing it into a short, compact video for your viewing pleasure. Zach, what's happening in the background?
NCIS, that's what's happening.
You gotta stop. I may even make YouTube shorts, because that shit does numbers for whatever stupid reason. Probably because nobody does anything but TikTok nowadays, which is fucking stupid. But that's for another time. In the second section, I will be doing a handful of video game and movie reviews. For video games, I have a bunch of video games to be playing, from console games from the PlayStation 1 through 4. I have a Nintendo Switch, I got a Wii, I have a DS, I have a GameCube, and I might even pick myself up an N64. I have a 360, I have a bunch of PC games as well. It's a madhouse in my room. Surrounding the consoles are a bunch of cups as well that I need to take care of. But I also have a shit ton of PC games that I can review as well. I can probably play them on the Twitch channel, I can stream them, I can do anything. I have a bunch of obscure games, not even AAA games. They're just obscure as fuck. As for movies, I have a huge shelf of movies. Plus, I can probably go look stuff up as well. I can buy movies, I can buy movie collections at Walmart. Walmart really likes to do that. I really like those action-packed movies, so expect me to be very appraised of, Quentin Tarantino. The Pulp Fiction guy, the Django Unchained guy, Inglourious Bastards. Awesome movies. Next, I'm going to be doing sports, which is a little bit obscure for me, but I am a personal fan of American football. I absolutely love American football. My friend Zach likes hockey, and if Lucas wants to drag himself in, he likes NHL. He's a hockey guy. And you know what? I kind of like hockey too. I don't know enough about it, however. He knows a little bit more than I do, which is still not a whole lot. However, it could be a little fun activity for all of us to learn more about each sport that we like by researching it and making some essays, making stuff to talk about it with each other, watch stuff, review stuff, make content. So if Lucas does want to come back, we could probably do some hockey stuff as well as a bunch of my other friends probably want to add some more, sports. Hell, maybe one day I'll have a lacrosse video if we're that fucking bored. Lastly is my most ambitious corner, the original content. Here I'm going to be making stuff that I am purely making either myself, me or Zach, a few other things, a few other people, and I'll be probably making stuff like short films, stories, analogs, full-scale films eventually. And here are a few ideas of what I would like to make within the next 10 years. This story will be split into two different segments. The first segment will be presented in an analog horror series that I will average around 5 to 7 episodes throughout the next year. These will go over the events of an alternative timeline where the Second World War has yet to end, and the world is war-torn, and soon a mysterious alien force known as the Apothecans invade the Earth, infecting a few hosts with a real-like substance, bursting from their fingertips and injecting their hosts' heads with a mysterious, unreadable code that forces the victims to repeat the code until they turn into a ravaging beast thirsting for blood and death. In the second half of the story begins to follow a man waking up from a stasis chamber, seeing that the world is nothing but a barren wasteland. Finding out his true origins, he finds drug enhancements, experimental drinks, and weapons beyond this realm to fight off the Horde and find the man who placed him into sleep for 20 years. In this take on the FNAF universe, take half of what you may know of the current universe, apply it here, and begin to learn new aspects of the story. In the eyes of a detective struggling between his family and a case going cold regarding a mystery murder in a family-friendly diner, the detective must choose to either let go of the case and tend to his family, or go after the case and risk everything to take down a cold-blooded killer hiding behind the face of a genius. Taking on the case, the detective explores the diner and follows the case closely and silently for years and years, sacrificing his well-being to bring down a man who ruined the lives of many children that have been subjected to an eternal hell within his grasp. This would basically be my take on the FNAF story in a different direction than it is currently going, and a little bit shorter as well, with a lot more finality. In the Star Wars universe, Boba Fett is still one of the most mysterious characters despite being given lots of light in recent events. Boba's life follows him from the rainy homeworld where he was cloned from his father's DNA and raised unaltered from birth, being given life just to have his life rapidly change after watching his father die in the Geonosis arena in Attack of the Clones. Alpha will follow Boba's story from Kamino to many different locales as he develops from a boy looking up to his Mandalorian father figure, becoming a self-proclaimed bounty hunter under the guidance of Bossk and Aurra Sing, his legacy-defining duel with Cad Bane, the mission in Kamino to destroy the facility and retrieve the last strand of DNA from his father, and meeting Darth Vader for the first time and fighting him to a close stalemate. The anthology series will go from Boba's birth all the way to the all-too-familiar No Disintegration scene where he is hired for the Cloud City mission to retrieve Han Solo.
Sector 4 needs reinforcements. We are being overrun. Repeat, we are...
You can't change the river's flow by casting a stone. But live in harmony with nature and you'll change together. The people of this world know that well.
Spoiler alert for those who are tuning into the Bleach 1000 Year Blood War anime and have not read the manga material, which is subject to change in the anime. In the following years after the events of the current Breaths of Hell arc, there comes a surviving member of the Wanderreich, a group originally destroyed by the Soul Reapers in the 1000 Year Blood War arc of the Bleach story. The young boy left behind trained against apparitions of fallen Soul Reaper spirits to train himself to become a nearly unstoppable force. After defeating some of the strongest Soul Reapers in Soul Society's history, the lone Quincy begins to venture forth and slowly conquer the human world by creating political debate and genocidal diversions, gaining followers, and by the time the Soul Society notices what is happening, the lone Quincy has established himself as the ruler of a large portion of human territory. He grants himself the letter O, calling himself the Overpower, and his organization grows and swells in enormous amounts, to the point where almost everyone is trying to stop him, Soul Reapers, Arankars, and humans alike. Soon, however, many learn that the self-proclaimed Sternritter holds an immense power that matches himself with his opponents in terms of power, being able to best Courtguard squad captains and espadas with a power unmatched by most. Only blades that can shatter fate itself can seal the fate of this Sternritter as he attempts to avenge his fallen ruler and do what Yuha Bak, the ruler of the Quincy's, could not do. The story will feature both Ichigo and his son Kazui facing an immense threat, while focusing a lot on the villain of the story as he attempts to tip the balance of the universe. Some other stories that I have in the works is one of them being a 100% original concept, but it's not going to be released anytime soon at all, and it has been in the works for years, and I have yet to figure out what medium I will be releasing it in. I've been working on the concept for a long time, and it has evolved over and over, and it almost feels like currently I am starting all the way over, because I am not completely a fan of like my last concept. I thought it was kind of trash, but some parts of it were good. But I wasn't entirely happy with it, and if I'm not 100% happy with the concept, I'm probably going to scrap it. The other idea is a Fallout film that my friend Zach is going to be the helm of. A lot more information has yet to be revealed, but the location of the story is going to be taking place in Michigan woodlands during a nuclear timeline. I plan on making extra stuff for the channel as well, perhaps some skits, animations, shorts, and even fake or real adverts here and there. In fact, speaking of ads, I will from time to time be giving the old shout out to a product that I happen to like with no pay whatsoever. I have my first one in mind, so I'll let you in on what that will be when the time comes. So that's it. That's the future of this channel, and now I gotta get to work on some things here at home and get ready to make content. Prepare to see a lot of Twitch and YouTube stream highlights in the next little while, as I have a lot of those. But they may be a few and far between, as I am fairly busy with work and such, and hopefully my procrastination no longer kicks in so hard for me to be this late to the ball. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Cheers!
I'm gay as fuck.